Okay, well, this is where we're at so far. I guess I'm in the way of seeing this. Yes, I am. Let me adjust the camera. Boy, I'm terrible at this kind of thing. Okay. So, sort of coming to the foreground again. You know, my most distinct objects are here, following this horizontal theme, as will they be here, even though they're pushed back. And as we come forward again, we want to become, or I want to become less distinct, more impressionistic. So I've laid in sort of an impression of some bedrock poking through here, and maybe there, you know, as we wander off into the distance. Going dark in this area, you know, still using greens to blues. Toning it down, you know, I want to pretend that there are some trees off to our left that are casting a shadow across this area. You know, there's a bit of light catching the top of this rock yet. That's all. As we come lower here as well, I'm going to lower the values. But I want this landmass, I think, to continue over to here, and then just kind of blend into this more distant landmass behind it. Yeah, water's painted in. I get the feeling I'm going to need a little more of these colors down in here, but I'm leaving it. I've scraped off the excess paint and laid some toilet paper on there to draw, you know, additional paint away from there. So I'm able to work on it again without leaving ridges. I'm done for the day. So I've gone along with my knife, and wherever my paint has met with my wash-in, I've scraped off any excess paint so that when I go back into it tomorrow, I won't encounter dried ridges of paint along this line. I would like this to blend very gently, you know, the paint that I have on, to blend very gently with whatever paint I add on here now. Yeah, happy so far. I'm kind of looking forward to getting into this. This will be interesting because I'm going to go with darker colors for the most part, but there's going to be fairly high chrome in the background. It's going to be low temperature though. It's going to be low temperature, high chrome. I'm going to be using a lot of cobalt blue, some burnt sienna, might even put a little bit of viridian green in there, because this still is really, oddly enough, although this land mass in the foreground occupies the larger part of the painting, in many ways this is the most important part. You know, even though it might be quite impressionistic and, you know, the shapes on there might not be as distinct as the ones in the foreground, this has to be stronger. The shape at least has to be stronger than what I have here. So that's going to be kind of a fun thing to play with, or fun, interesting, challenging. We'll see. So yeah, getting more impressionistic as we get to the bottom. Going to continue with that. I like it. We will talk to you soon. So we're working our way across the foreground here. I kind of like this brownish red streak. That's a mixture of yellow ochre, alizarin crimson, and a little bit of ultramarine blue. This rock is a little better defined now. My value might be a bit high there. We'll see. It's a little warm. I'll probably put a shot of gray over that later. You know, kept it very dark blue here. Ultramarine blue, yellow ochre, and burnt sienna. You know, the same colors, the same mixture of colors. Just, you know, in different proportions, that's all. But I like this, and I think I'll Okay, that's too strong. Add a little more ultramarine blue to that. Make it into a dirtier brown. A bit of white to it maybe. Yeah, I don't want too high a chroma down in this area. Now I'm starting with the dark corner here. All of this lower part will be a little lower value. The left hand side will be lighter than the right hand side, but I still want this to be sort of toned down. I'm going to carry this hillside almost across the painting, maybe right across it, and then we go into the next plane in behind it to work on this. Working backwards. Works for me. Okay, a little more ultramarine blue yet. Make that lean. I should lean more in the direction of purple, I guess. Sort of a warmish, dirty purple. Okay, and a little more. I'll just mix up ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson now and make it purple to start with. And then add a hint of yellow ochre. I want my value to be going down here. My value is a little bit too high yet in this area. More ultramarine, a little more yellow ochre. There we go. Keeping those colors in the same value, but less important. If I don't add the yellow ochre to it, I'll end up with a very strong purple, and although the value would be low, the chroma would be quite high. It would still be too, the temperature would be too high on the paint. Visual temperature, that is. Okay. Mix another pile. I mix a pile and I only get a few strokes out of it. And then I mix another pile and I only get a few strokes out of it. But the colors stay fresh and unmixed by doing that. And that is what I like. Add a hint of white to that. Okay, maybe just a few bits here and there. Not too much. I want to go back into the greens. I don't want this area to be overtaken with purple. Okay. I think I'll go a little lighter stroke on here. Lighter and more neutral. All right. Let's get back to our greens. I don't want solid, clean greens. So I'm just mixing right into what little of this purple I had left on the palette. I'm going to overpower it now with just yellow ochre and ultramarine blue. That should bring us, it's not quite green enough. Well, yeah, it's a little too dirty. Okay. More. I think if it's kind of a balance. For me it is anyway, or with this technique. If you overmix, you kill the paint. It kind of goes flat and dead looking. But if you undermix, you end up with a very busy looking surface. And I'm not after that either. I want it to be cohesive. Okay. I think we're doing the right thing. Always do the right thing, Mom said. Okay, we're in the greens now. We're a little more subdued, which is, yeah, that's okay. I add a little bit of, I had my yellow ochre and ultramarine blue, and I added a little bit of burnt sienna to it to take it down a notch, and I think that was about the right way to look at it. Keep it alive. Trying to keep it alive. Easier to keep it alive to begin with than to try to resuscitate it later. Okay, if those dark lines end up being too strong, I can get rid of them. That's okay. I can remove that stuff. Or tone it down, whatever's required. Right. One more shot of this green in the corner. I'm just going to finish this off. Get it covered anyway. Won't be laying highlights on just yet. Yeah, I'll keep it sort of that straw green, you know? Hay rather than grass. Not quite straw, but and that is again just a little bit of burnt sienna with our other colors. This is probably a little too lively. I am going to smudge those lines. It's okay. Yeah, you know, this is going to be a stronger line here. If I have that there as well, it might be over the top. Or maybe not. We'll see. Maybe I should get a little further on the painting before I make that decision. Okay, well, as they say, only fools rush in. So I think what I'm going to do now is sit on my hiney a bit of a distance from the painting so that I can give some serious thought about exactly where I want to take this area and where I'd like some highlights here. We will talk to you soon.